What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, your internet brother, your internet friend, Sealz the man. Thank you for coming back and being with me on another nighttime edition episode. And as y'all know, and for those who don't know, on this channel I talk about understanding the mind of men, good men, decent men, upstanding men, how we think, why we think the things we think, etc., etc. And today I'm gonna talk about some more man math. I know a lot of y'all talk about girl math, but there is also man math. And specifically, I'm going to talk about the extreme reasons why a man will settle down, why he decides to, you know what, I'm done with this lifestyle. I'm ready to move on to something greater, more purposeful. I'm ready to settle down. What makes a man think about that, come to that conclusion, and act on it? But before I start, make sure y'all subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below the video box. Comment, tell me what you think. I always look forward to y'all feedback. So let's get to it. The first extreme reason why a man will decide to settle down is, one, he's confronted the things that he cannot bring into his real relationship. I ain't just say relationship, I said real relationship. If you break that down, what am I saying? Come on, what am I saying? A real relationship. Because you can have a relationship with anything. You can have a relationship with a dog if you wanted to, a toy, a car. We're talking about a real relationship with the love of your life. And because it is real, you have to move in a real way. You got to back up what you say. You got to actually care and love for your significant other, because this is a real thing. And it's also real in you. Now, what do I mean by he's confronted the things that he cannot bring into this real relationship? Well, I'm talking about the things that you do when you are a single man. The things that you do as a single person, when it is aligned with being in a single mentality. Because when you are single and when you are in a real relationship, those are two totally different lifestyles, perspectives, thinking, actions. You should not act single in a relationship. So when you're single, you think a certain way. You do certain things. For example, when you're single, you will do a lot of selfish things. You will act in selfish ways because it is only you and about you. You don't have someone else to partner with or share with or put into consideration, so you will do a lot of selfish things. Another thing that you do when you're single, you're dealing with a lot of women, a lot of partners, a lot of potential partners. You're dating, you're courting, you out here in these streets. You are not committed to one person, so you're doing and dealing with multiple people, possibly. But another thing that could be attached to that is the lust to be with many people. If you have lust to be with a lot of people and in many relationships, that contradicts what you need to do in a real relationship. So everything that you're thinking about as a single person, you cannot or should not bring those things, those mentalities, those actions into a relationship with another. So when a man has dealt with those things of being a single man, he is over those things, he's confronted those things, and he's decided, you know what? I'm done with those things because I confronted it. I'm ready to go to the real relationship lifestyle, the real relationship mindset, the real relationship spirit. Because I know as a man, I have to separate those two. They should never intertwine. And once they intertwine, now you've introduced some issues. The second extreme reason why a man will decide to settle down is he wants more for himself with this woman. One of the greatest feelings as a man is to realize you have a woman on your side that is beneficial to you, who adds value to you, who shows you new things, who makes you feel new. It almost feels like a rebirth. When as a man we find that type of woman, that will drive a man with common sense, a mature man, a man of decency to want more. There's another thing with men who are successful, who do great in their lives. We can get complacent at times. We can get comfortable. We can feel like we're at the top of the mountain because we've done so much in our career and our lifestyles that we can get a little static. But one factor in a lot of these type of men are that they are easily motivated. So now when we introduce or we're introduced to a woman who brings value, who makes us better, we now have a new influence that we never had before. Her being our influence makes us, motivates us, influences us to be better. Also, now, because we have such an amazing woman, an amazing queen, an amazing partner, we not only want to be better for ourselves, but we want to be better for her too. Because in turn, that will make us better as a whole. Just like I talked about in the first point, we are no longer single. Therefore, I cannot just worry about making myself better. I'm in a real relationship with a great woman. So as a man, I'm going to make sure that we are better. But she also influences me to be better. She puts that battery in my back to be better and to want more. When you got a good woman on your side as a man, you want the best for her. You want the best for us. But how can you get the best if you are complacent, comfortable, static, plateaued? Nah, we want more. Having that feeling of wanting more when you're with a woman is an extreme reason why a man will want to settle down. The third extreme reason why a man will want to settle down is she completes him. Let me talk about a thing I notice about a lot of people who struggle in life per se, who live a troubled life, and the reason why they do the things they do, the reason why they live the lifestyle they live. People will live the way they live because of the conditions of their voids. Now let me say that again. People do the things they do, they live the way they live, they act the way they act because of their voids. Now when you think about voids, voids are the things you are missing in your life, the holes in your life, the gaps in your life. For those bakers out there who makes cake and desserts and or cook food, period. You ever bake or cook something and you try it and you say, there's an ingredient that needs to be added to this to make this complete, to make this taste the way I want it to taste, the way I know it should taste, to make it good, to make it whole. There's something missing. We can feel that same way about our lives. What I've noticed is that people who have troubled lives, who live troubled ways, most of them do the things they do because they are missing something in their lives. That void, that missing ingredient that is not making them whole, that is not making them good, that is not making them complete. When a man has these voids and these holes in his life for as long as he can remember, and when those holes are completed and filled by his woman, by his significant other, that can make a man stop living the way he's been living, because there's no reason to live like that no more. Like I said, people do things, they live a certain lifestyle because of the conditions of their voids. When that void is no longer there, what do you think happens? There is no reason to live that lifestyle any longer. As I'm talking, I'm just thinking about, the visuals of this, because I want y'all to understand how it feels to be a man who finally meets a woman that's for him. A good woman, a great woman, a woman of virtue. It's like standing in quicksand. Like you're standing at the beach and your feet is just sinking in the sand. You can't walk. The quicksand is up to your knees, your shins, and you're struggling to walk. When you meet a great woman, a great partner, a woman for you, it's as if she fills in that hole that you're sinking in, and now you're rising to the top until your feet is above the ground. Now you're able to stand and walk. You can fly, you can run, you can do whatever you want. But you couldn't do that when you was in those holes. That's what it feels like. A lot of men go through that. The next extreme reason why a man will settle down, decide to settle down, commit to settle down, is the fear of losing his blessing in his partner, his woman. The fear of losing your partner will make you change a lot of things in your relationship. And I know all relationships go through some bickering or some disputes or indifferences. We get it. But you have to think, are those things greater than us losing each other? Now let me go even deeper. I'm gonna tell y'all something about a lot of men that y'all may not know. A lot of men, many men, think about losing the things that are most important to them daily. Because the men who are protectors, ultra protectors, providers, and proud providers, they invest so much of themselves into doing those things, protecting, providing, and being there. We always think, what if I was to lose that thing that I'm doing all of this for? What would I do with myself? I would go absolutely crazy. I would lose my mind. That would be heartbreaking. We think about things like this daily, and that is only if he truly cares about you and loves you. So what makes a man finally say, like you know what, I'm willing to settle down with you. I want to settle down with you. It's him thinking of losing you, especially the men who are not sure if they want to continue with this thing with you based on whatever reasons. I don't know. I'm not going to dive into that, but y'all know what I'm saying. There are a lot of situationships out there where the man or the woman don't know whether they want to commit, but they're just dragging this thing along, unsure, not knowing what to do, not sure if this person is the right person for them. A lot of questions. But what I believe is you need to commit to a decision. You're either going to be with this person or you're not. And what makes a man choose to be with this person, one of the major reasons why, is thinking like, yo, if I lose her, if she decides to walk away from me because of my questionable actions or my indecision on being with her or not, I'm going to be messed up. I'm going to be jacked up because this woman is bringing so much value into my life. If I lose her, I will lose. That fear will make a man commit to settling down. A man who recognizes what I just said. This does not go for all men. And like I always say, age does not make a man a man. There are a lot of grown-sized boys out here. Another extreme reason why a man will commit to settling down is, to be real with y'all, that lifestyle is too much for him now. That lifestyle is too much for him to be a part of any longer. Whether it's too dangerous, too expensive, too empty and non-fulfilling, too repetitive, too heartbreaking, he is done with that. Because let me tell y'all something, man. As a man, all those things, those descriptions I just gave about the lifestyle of being single is so real. And I know ladies go through it, but I'm talking about men right here. We go through this a lot. That single lifestyle can be dangerous because you're meeting so many people and you don't know any of these women. Even when they seem right, you don't know if they're trying to set you up, trying to rob you. You don't know. It could be dangerous. I brought up expensive. Being a single man, we are expected to pay for dates. And nowadays, how inflation works, those dates ain't the same dates as before. You can expect those numbers to be in the hundreds of the thousands every single weekend as you go out. I also brought up empty and non-fulfilling. When you're a single man, you're going out on these dates, and if you're active in these dates, you're doing things, but you're not getting something that fulfills you on the inside. Maybe you're going out and having fun and bringing exposure to yourself, but at the end of the day, that may not be what you really want. Because if you want something that's bigger than that, a wife, a family, but you're doing these things, it can be non-fulfilling because it is not going towards your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. And now you feel empty. I also brought up repetitive. When you're going out on these dates and another date and another date and you're meeting another woman and you're saying the same things and you're asking the same questions. What's your favorite color? That can be repetitive, and maybe this man is tired of that. And it could also be heartbreaking. Yes, men get heartbroken too. Even though a lot of men don't want to talk about it, that single lifestyle can break your heart. And it most likely will, because there's sometimes you'll meet a girl and you'll like her a lot and you think that y'all will have something together, that there's a high potential that y'all can make something happen, and then boom, something happens. She stops texting you. She leaves you on red. She ghosts you because she's also dating too. And maybe she found a better suitor for her. But you're left in the tire tracks, in the dirt. So yes, that can be heartbreaking. When a man is tired of all those things, when he is fed up with all those things, and he finds a good woman, a woman for him, and he has common sense, maturity, and understanding, foresight, vision, he will commit to settling down. Because that old lifestyle is too much for him. And the last extreme reason that I'm going to talk about that will make a man commit to settling down is when he pays for his sins. Now let me explain. The consequences of messing up in something will change a man who understands its impact. Now let me talk about that real quick. When you mess up on something, when you make a mistake, when you did something that you know you shouldn't have done, the consequence of that, when you are truly sincere and sorry for doing such thing, can change a man when he understands the impact that he made from that mistake. Mistakes break relationships, marriages, friendships, business ships, but more importantly, it can break a person. And that can echo through the rest of that person's life. When a man understands that impact of that echoing throughout the rest of that person's life, when he understands that, it can make him immediately change his life around. Because when you mess up the wrong person, when you break the wrong person's heart, and you realize what you truly did, it can make you hate yourself. It can make you question all the decisions that you ever made in your life. Like, why did I do this thing? What was in me that made me do this? Now look at what I did. I messed up a truly good person who was good to me. I jacked up a very good thing that I had. That will make a man change his whole life. Now, I'm not even worried about and concerned about the settling down part when it comes to this. That will change a man's life, because sometimes a person won't accept him back in their life, and it's understandable. So it's not always about settling after you realize the impact that you made from your mistake, but it's the change that that man will make because of that mistake in his own life, in his own head, in his own heart, in his own mentality going forward. And maybe that partner sees the better of him in the future, or maybe not, but he must change himself for the better for any possibility of any future love or successful relationship. But that will make a man settle down. His mistakes and the understanding of the impact that that mistake had on the affected person, and in most times the affected lover. So thank you for being here with me on another Nighttime Edition episode, and I will see y'all on my next one. Peace and blessings. Good night.